Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here to bring on the 4-game NBA main slate here on Thursday. A couple things before I end the video. If you're new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos here talking about NBA DFS as well as NFL DFS. Also, I'm running a weekly giveaway on this channel where all you have to do is leave a like and a comment in the video. That's one entry in the giveaway. Max one comment though per video. So it starts with my Monday Night Showdown video that I uploaded at the beginning of the week. We'll go throughout the week. We'll end up my Monday Night Showdown video at the end of the week. So however many videos I've uploaded for the week, you enter the giveaway that many times. So if I have 10 videos uploaded for the week, you enter the giveaway 10 times. And the winner will receive a $20 PayPal for myself. With that out of the way, let's jump into the video. So first, let's look back to my lineup here from Wednesday. So if you guys watch the live stream there, I told you guys I was going more risky for a GPP build. So that's why I plugged in Giannis and Luka there. So Luka was a pretty popular option and a really surprising bust in a good spot, right? He was really high owned in the high dollar tournament I was in. He was like 60% owned. So a lot of people were on him. His first bust in a long time, so that was a bit surprising. Giannis, a little tilted about it, made a tweet, right? He got pulled with 6 minutes left. Blowout again. I mean, yeah. Not much else to say about that. Kristaps is okay for his price. The two Chicago guys, I did like a good amount. I talked about them with Stan Aransky and Chris Dunn. Bazemore pivoted him. It worked out with Mudio not being in the starting lineup. I talked about that, how I was not going to play him if Mudio didn't start. He got announced not starting, so I moved Bazemore in there, and he was actually pretty solid. Got a bit lucky there. And then, I told you guys I was taking shots on guys that I probably shouldn't. Took a shot on Ivan Turner. Didn't really work out. Reddish very much did. So the cheap guys kind of got me there, right? Like Bazemore, Reddish. It was the studs that let me down with Luka and Giannis. So yeah, like I said, I've been entering a lot of just GPP lineups recently. I'm probably gonna get back to my cash game ways. I take the CFA test on Saturday, so after that I'll have a lot more time. So I'll probably be back to my more cash game ways. But again, I've been building lineups more risky recently, so that's why I took some shots on these guys. And the cheap guys kind of got me there. The studs let me down, unfortunately. But again, sometimes that's how it goes for DFS. So let's see if we can get back on the winning track here for this 4-game NBA slate here on Thursday. Let's check the. That's not what I wanted to do. It's slate. All right, so 4 games. The over-unders are out for 3 of them right now in spreads. The 76ers Wizards at 234 with the 76ers favored by 7 points. There's definitely a little bit of blowout risk there. Rockets Raptors at 230.5 with the Raptors favored by 2. Suns Pelicans at 233 with the Pelicans favored by 3. And the last game, Denver New York, it's not out right now, but I assume that one's gonna be pretty high, right? The Knicks have just been terrible, so there's definitely some blowout risk in this game as well. We'll start center and Joel Embiid at under 10K going up against Washington with no Thomas Bryant, possibly no Mo Wagner. Maybe the only guys that would be standing in his way would be Rui and Davis Bertans. So you gotta love Joel Embiid here in the spot, right? There's literally no downside. The matchup is amazing. The only risk is the blowout factor, right? It's a 7-point spread. So there's definitely a little bit of blowout risk here. But if Washington can keep this game close, man, you gotta like the upside here in Embiid. So really like him at that price. Jokic at 8.5. It's a good spot. It's just, again, there's even more blowout risk in this one. New York has just been terrible. If New York can somehow keep this game close, I think Jokic should be okay. But I think I'd much prefer Embiid for a bit more there. Siakam in a good spot here at 8.4K. The Toronto main guys, Siakam, Kyle Lowry, and Fred VanVleet just play huge minutes. They play like 35 or so minutes a night, basically. And this is an up-tempo game, and the price is somewhat coming down. Now, I don't think Siakam's like my favorite play in the world because Kyle Lowry is back, limits the usage a little bit for Siakam, but I still think he's definitely playable, again, in a good spot. Capella, I like the price, but it's a really not a good matchup here against Toronto's front court with, Marc Gasol and with Serge Ibaka. So am I going to go there? Probably not, but I do like the price on him. Al Horford, so him and Tobias Harris are solid mid-tier plays. Again, it's a really good spot fit for them. No issue if you want to go there. I think both him and Tobias are safe options. And they can get you there in limited time even if the game blows out. So, yeah, no issue with Horford, no issue with Tobias Harris. We'll talk about him in a bit. I think the upside is there with the guys like, Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. So, Julius Randle at 6.3. I don't think I want to do it in the slate. The Knicks, again, have just been such a mess. They have a lot of guys questionable, too. It's just, I can't do it even on this short slate. So, again, no Thomas Bryant. So, Mo Wagner is questionable. If he's up in the air, if he misses, their only bigs really are Rui and Davis Bertans. It's a really, really bad spot here against Philadelphia, but he'll probably be asked to play big minutes. Now, if Mo Wagner misses, am I going to play Rui against Embiid? Probably not. It's just, again, a really, really tough spot. The price is okay, but probably wouldn't do it. If Mo Wagner plays, I don't know if I'll go there either. Again, that would be another body to the front court. It's just a really bad matchup here. So don't know if I would go there even if Mo Wag plays. Let's see. Aaron Baines is listed as questionable for this game against the Pelicans. If he misses, we could look to Frank Kaminsky, who had a really good game last time out. Now, the game did blow out. In 26 minutes, shot the ball 10 of 12, 36 fantasy points. Don't think we can expect that again. This is an up-tempo game. This is a good spot. If Aaron Baines misses, that's more minutes to go around. So you can consider him, right? Diallo was a guy that I was a little bit concerned about with his minutes, but he kind of only got garbage time run, 19 minutes. I think he had like 6 or 7 minutes before that garbage time run in the fourth quarter, so he wasn't playing huge minutes. So, don't know if I would go Diallo there. It is a revenge game spot, but I'm a little bit concerned about the minutes just because he got a lot of those in garbage time. Kaminsky, again, maybe he gets a little bit more run. It's a pretty good spot. Now, Derek Favors is also somewhat interesting. He's listed as questionable. It was with a personal reason. So I think if he comes back, he gets those consistent minutes like he was getting last time. And he was getting about close to 30 minutes a game, right? 29, 29, 35. So this is definitely something to monitor. It's a decent spot here against Phoenix. If he's going to start, play, and not be limited, I think he's pretty appealing at that price. Mitchell Robinson, again, the Knicks guys, I guess you could take a shot there. It's just, I don't want to do it in this slate. I think there's safer options. Paul Millsap's okay, but again, there's some blowout risk. Marc Gasol at this price is, I'm not a Marc Gasol guy at all. He's really been a shell of his former self. Has not flashed any upside, but at 4.4K, I think he makes for a pretty safe option. Again, I don't think he has huge upside, but at this price, against Houston, right? I think he's an okay option. Now, he doesn't match up necessarily that well against Capella, right? So maybe his minutes get limited somewhat. Maybe they give a little bit more to Ibaka. Even so, though, I just think the price here makes him a pretty safe option if you're playing cash games. Again, I don't think he has huge upside. Ibaka, if you want to get a little bit riskier, right? The minutes are not as high in him, but he can get you there in limited time. I think he matched up a little bit better here against Houston. So maybe it's an extended run. So do have some interest there in Ibaka. Do have some interest there in Gasol. I think Gasol only for cash games. Don't think he has huge upside. Let's see. Diallo, again, I'm just a little bit concerned about the minutes. He got a lot of those minutes in garbage time, so it does worry me a bit. He is the guy that can get you there in limited time, but again, just a little bit worried about those minutes. Bobby Portis and Taj Gibson are just okay cheap options. Both will probably play around 20 minutes. I think I would slightly prefer Bobby Portis to Taj Gibson. But both are, I guess, in play because they're under 4K, right? Same thing kind of here with Mason Plumlee. Maybe the game blows out, he gets a little extra run. He's a guy that can get you in limited time, like 15 to 20 minutes. So there's some interest there as well. Jackson Hayes would look there if Favors misses because he's been playing still consistent minutes even with Okafor and Melli there, right? 21, 21, 26, 26. So if Favors does miss, I think Jackson Hayes is a pretty okay option at that price. Okafor, again, the minutes have been a bit up and down on him, right? So unless he starts, I don't think I could even take a shot there. Jeremy Grant's a guy you could look to, again, if you think Denver's going to blow him out, which I think is a decent shot. He maybe gets a little extra extended run at that price. Melli, I think his minutes have been not high enough. He did get 22 that last time, but pretty low usage guy. You got to hope he hits those threes when he's out there. But that's really it. So let's move on to power forward. I already talked about Siakam. Brandon Ingram. So this Phoenix New Orleans game in general, probably my favorite game to game stack, just because no one's like really high priced. They're all kind of in the mid range of like guys like 5 to 8K range. I think it makes it a pretty easy game stack if you want a game stack for GPPs. Now Ingram, again, I think he's an 8.5 to 9K player right now. The really good thing about him and Drew Holiday is they're just playing consistent minutes no matter what. He's going to get 35 to 40 minutes. So it's a pretty decent spot here against Phoenix. The over-under, again, sitting at 233. So it's a pretty high over-under. Again, all these games have pretty high over-unders. But, yeah, he's going to play big minutes. He's their go-to guy right now, and he's been playing great basketball. So I still have some interest there at Brandon Ingram at 8.2. Again, Tobias Harris, him and Al Horford, I think are pretty safe options at 6.5 and 6.4K. There are secondary pieces in the offense with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, but they can still get you there, right? Against Utah, Tobias had 42, and I think Al Horford had a pretty solid game too. Yeah, he had 41. So these guys do still have a bit of upside, and they're priced accordingly in a good matchup. So I do have a good amount of interest in the Philly guys. The concern there is some blowout risk. If Washington can keep it close, I think 2, maybe even 3 of those Philly Big Four guys could have a huge game. So you got to consider Tobias, you got to consider Horford, you got to consider Ben Simmons, you got to consider Embiid in a really good spot. Let's see. Kelly Oubre at 6.1. The Mets are so up and down. Now the game did blow out, so he got limited somewhat, but still, I think he's a riskier option for GPPs. We know the upside is there when he's playing well. Sarge is just okay at 6K. Probably going to play 30 minutes in a close game. It's an up-tempo game, and the price is not super appealing. Bertans at 5.8. I would consider him there if Mo Wagner misses, just because he would be asked to play big minutes, and he wouldn't be matched up with Embiid. So I would have some interest there if Mo Wagner misses, just because he would have to play big minutes. See, PJ Tucker, I don't think I want to go there. Just thought I'd bring it up. He played 52 minutes that last game against San Antonio. Now, they go to double overtime. Still, that's huge minutes. In a match against Toronto at 5K, probably pass. Marcus Morris, currently listed as questionable. If he misses, then we can look to guys like Knox and Dotson. Again, you're not going to feel great about it. The Knicks are such a mess. If Marcus Morris plays, there's some interest, right? A 5K price tag is pretty cheap for him. I know it's a bad spot, but there would be a little bit of interest there at that price. Other options, Daniel House currently listed as questionable. If he's good to go, he's an okay cheap option. It's a tough spot, but again, he would be viable. If he misses, you could look to Ben McLemore and Austin Rivers, but I think there's probably better value plays on the board today. Let's see. Hollis Jefferson at 3.8K. Again, going to play maybe 20 or so minutes. An okay cheap option. Again, he's in that range of guys like Bobby Portis, Tosh Gibson, Mason Plumlee you can take shots on. Kevin Knox, Dotson, again, these are guys that will get more minutes with if Marcus Morris misses. You just got to hope Knox can knock down his shots. So, yeah, you kind of consider him if Morris misses. Again, you're just not going to feel great about it in a tough spot. James Ennis, I do have some interest here at 3.7K just because of the minutes. 22, 27, and 27. So he's starting to play more consistent minutes. It's a really good spot. And, yeah, he's been decent recently, right? 31, 23, 19 fantasy points. So he's someone I would definitely consider there at that price as a cheap option. Kenrich Williams, so he missed the last couple games with an ankle injury, I believe. Before that, he was playing like 25 to 30 minutes. So if he's good to go and if he's going to start and he's not going to be limited, I would definitely have some interest at this price at 3.6K. But that's really it for power forwards. Let's move on to small forward. Let's see. Ben Simmons. Again, these Philly guys, the big four, are all in a really good spot. There's some blowout risk, but man, you got to like their prices and the matchup. Ben Simmons' price actually went down, so do have a lot of interest in Embiid. I have a lot of interest in Ben Simmons. Those guys in the mid-tier too, Horford and Tobias Harris, seem pretty safe with a little bit of upside as well. So these Philly guys all look really appealing. Let's see, Will Barton, definitely like the price there. It's a good spot against the Knicks. It's just, again, whether or not you think New York can keep this game close. JJ Redick's even viable at this price. I'm not a huge JJ Redick guy. He's a bit scoring dependent, but his minutes and production have been pretty consistent. He's playing right around 30 minutes. He's getting you 25 or so fantasy points, maybe a bit more. So at 4.8K, he's someone I think is playable. Again, Ben McLemore, Austin Rivers, you could look to those guys if Daniel House misses, but I think I prefer value guys elsewhere. The Washington secondary pieces like Troy Brown, Jordan McRae, again, they're okay options in a short slate. You can take a shot there. Bonga, I don't even think I would do it. Looks like he's going to remain in the starting lineup, but he's a really, really low usage guy. I think I'll pass. That's really it. So let's move on to shooting guard. Harden at the top here, 12K. Is interesting. I think he goes a bit lower owned just because there's a lot of those guys in the mid tier that are really appealing, right? Those Philadelphia guys, there's some of the Phoenix, New Orleans guys are a bit underpriced. So I think Harden goes a bit lower owned at 12K in a tough spot against Toronto, but it's James Harden. He's basically matchup proof. So again, I think he goes a bit lower owned. You could always go there. Am I going to go there in the slate? Probably not, but you could take a shot on low on Harden. Now, Beal at 8.7K is the do-it-all guy for Washington. Again, it's a tough spot, but if you're going to load up on those Philly guys, right? If you're going to play like 2 or 3 of those guys, which I think is very viable, it's such a good spot. Maybe you run it back with Brad Beal because if Washington keeps this game close, most likely Beal's going to have a big game. So just think about that for roster construction purposes. Devin Booker at 7.5K is an intriguing, I think, low-owned play. Again, with Rubio playing, it kind of limits his upside, but this is a really, really good spot, and the price came down. So don't hate don't hate Booker there at 7.5. Jrue Holiday I still like just because the minutes are really consistent. 40, 41, 36, 37, just like Brandon Ingram playing really consistent minutes. Now, the production has come down a bit, but the price has also come down, and this is a pretty decent spot. So I'd still have some interest there in Jrue Holiday. Jamal Murray, we know the upside's there when he's shooting well, right? He can put up 50, even 60 fantasy points. It's just there's definitely some blowout risk in this game. Fred VanVleet, so with Lowry back, that definitely takes a hit to his usage, but the price went way down from 7.5 to 6.6, and this is an up-tempo game. So, yeah, I think Fred VanVleet's pretty solid here in the mid-range. Again, this mid-range today is really appealing. There's a lot of guys I think are pretty fairly priced. Norman Powell has been really good recently. Still has been getting consistent minutes, but with Kyle Lowry back, it worries me a little bit with his minutes, right? I don't think he's going to continue to play 35 minutes a night. I could be wrong. He's also been shooting the ball really well, 12 of 18, 8 of 14. Don't know if we can expect that to continue. Sorry, I can't talk. So if you're a guy that likes riding hot streaks, you can definitely do it, right? He's been good. It's just, Lowry coming back does worry me a little bit with his minutes, and he's been shooting the ball lights out. Let's see. Other options. Again, Austin Rivers, I'll probably pass. Gary Harris, just blah. Dotson, I guess, again, him and Knox, you're really not going to feel good about it, but you can go there if Marcus Morris misses. There's definitely minutes to go around. That's basically it. So let's move on to point guard. Westbrook at 8.8K is fairly priced. It's a tougher spot, and I think I like guys priced around his range more. So, yeah, probably not for me. I get it if you want to go there. Him and Harden they have upside no matter what, but I just think I like spots in other games more. Ben Simmons, again, I already talked about him, but I really like these Philadelphia guys. It's just a matter of, do you think Washington can keep this game close? There is some blowout risk, right? But all the Philly guys look really appealing. I definitely think you could play 2, maybe even 3 if you really wanted to. Let's see, other options. So Kyle Lowry at this price, at 7K, I do have a good amount of interest in. Now, look at this. In his first game back, played 41 minutes. Now, the game did go to overtime, so he was only on pace for 36. But he shot 2 of 18. still put up 41 fantasy points. That is just insane. He shot the ball 2 of 18 and put up 41 fantasy points. Imagine if he shoots like 10 of 18, right? 50, 60 fantasy points. So at this price, in an up-tempo game, his minutes are consistent. Him, Fred VanVleet, and Siakam's minutes are consistent. I have a good amount of interest in Lowry here as well. Again, this mid-tier is really, really appealing. Rubio even at 6.2K, it's a really good spot. The game blew out, only played 25 minutes. In close games, he gets over 30, and he's a guy that fills up the stat sheet. I think he's very viable. Like I said, the mid-tier today, I really, really like the mid-tier. Lonzo Ball, I think he goes a bit lower on, but I still do have some interest. He had an off game that last game against Dallas. The game blew out too, so probably would have got a few more minutes there. Only shot the ball 2 of 10. I think he goes really low owned. Hasn't flashed a lot of upside recently, so I think he's an okay play. But I think, again, he goes a bit lower owned. Isaiah Thomas had a huge game that last game against Orlando. Put up 40 fantasy points, 20 real-life points. Don't know if we can expect that again. Again, a really tough spot, and the price is up. I'll probably look elsewhere. Again, Ntilikina and Alfred Payton both list as questionable. If they both miss, we can consider DSJ again, right? He burned everyone in 26 minutes, only put up 11 fantasy points. But when he's having a good night, the thing is the upside is there, right? Like, he can put up 30 fantasy points in a good night. So you can consider him there again if Alfred Payton and Ntilikina both miss. But that's really it. So again, I just want to talk about the mid-tier again. Let's go to utility because there is so much to like here in the mid-tier. I guess Embiid's kind of a stud, so I wouldn't really consider him in the mid-tier. But, like Brandon Ingram, Ben Simmons, Holiday seems safe. Kyle Lowry at that price. Fred VanVleet, the Philly guys with Tobias Harris and Horford. Rubio. There is a lot to like in the mid-tier. So that's probably going to be the way that I build my lineups right now, is more the mid-tier approach, with maybe Embiid being my most expensive guy. Again, I do have a lot of interest there as well. But that's kind of how I'm thinking, constructing my lineups for this 4-game slate. So I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. If you have been enjoying the content, I would really appreciate if you could like this video and subscribe. Again, if you want to get entered in the giveaway, all you do is a like and a comment in the video. It's one entry in the giveaway. I'll be back for another video to break down the Friday NBA slate. Also, I will be live streaming for this small 4-game slate, probably 30 minutes before lock, maybe a little bit before that. Also, support and follow me on Twitter. Again, that will be in the description below. I'll give my thoughts as we get more news throughout the day. But thanks again for coming and checking the video, guys, and I will see you later.